All right, so we're diving deep into RSKAs today.
RSKAs.
Yeah, rotating savings and credit associations.
Oh, right. Yeah.
From what I've heard, they're kind of like microfinance clubs, but like way more personal.
Uh,
You wanted to know more about them, and well, the story we found for this deep dive is,
Wild.
yeah, a real roller coaster.
Yeah, it really is a fascinating example of how these systems work,
Mm-hmm.
both the good and the bad.
Right.
So imagine just a group of people.
Okay.
Usually they're all from the same community,
Yeah.
and they all pool their money together.
Okay.
And each month, one person gets to take the whole pot home.
Wow.
It's really a brilliant way to save up money,
Yeah.
especially in places where, like, traditional banks aren't really an option.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's like a community savings pot,
Exactly.
but with a social twist.
Yeah.
I like it. The story we've got takes place in Africa,
Okay.
where RSKAs are super popular.
Uh-huh.
But this group, let's just say things didn't exactly go as planned.
Yeah, this is what's so compelling about this story.
Okay.
It really highlights that human element of our RSKAs.
Hmm.
They're generally very successful,
Right.
but they rely very heavily on trust.
Yeah.
Which, as we'll see, can sometimes be misplaced.
Oh, boy. All right, so set the scene for us.
Okay.
What kind of group are we talking about here?
So picture this.
Okay.
20 to 30 women meeting every month,
Wow.
starting back in January.
Right.
They come together, they contribute their share, and then party time.
What?
Singing, dancing, catching up on all the gossip.
Sounds fun.
It does.
Well, wait, there's got to be more to it than just fun and games, right?
Right.
What about the money?
Yeah, so each month, one woman gets to take home all the money
Okay.
that has been pooled together.
Gotcha.
It's a great way to access a lump sum that you might not be able to save up on your own.
Right.
So think of it like a forced savings plan,
Mm-hmm.
but with a built-in social safety net.
Okay. I'm starting to see how these RSKAs work,
Yeah.
but I have a feeling there's a but coming.
You got it.
Okay.
At the center of this particular group was Auntie Mfa,
Anti-Mempha.
the treasurer.
Okay.
Everyone adored her,
Uh-huh.
trusted her completely.
Yeah.
She was the heart and soul of the operation.
Anti-Mempha, I already have a feeling about this. She
Yeah.
sounds like someone you would trust with anything. So what happened?
Well, for a whole year, these women diligently saved,
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to that big December payout.
Okay.
Think of it like their Christmas bonus.
Right.
They were planning this huge feast. The excitement was palpable. And then,
And then...
right before the December meeting,
Ah. Oh.
Auntie Memphal vanished.
Hold on, she disappeared.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
What happened to all the money?
Gone.
Oh my gosh.
Just like something out of a movie.
Wow.
1 minute, she's the life of the party.
Yeah.
The next, she vanished into thin air along with everybody's savings.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
The shock, the disbelief,
Oh, yeah.
the panic.
Total panic.
That must have ripped through the group.
It did.
That's devastating.
Awful.
I'd be heartbroken, furious.
Mhm.
What did the other women do?
It was a total emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
They went from joy and anticipation
Right.
to confusion, anger,
Uh-huh.
and then this kind of stunned resilience.
Resilience.
Yeah, the source material actually quotes one woman,
Okay.
Sister Agnes.
Okay.
And amidst all the chaos, she simply said, well, at least we still have the food.
Wow, talk about finding a silver lining.
Right.
That's incredible. But seriously, what happened in the aftermath of Auntie Emphal's disappearing act?
Well, some of the women were determined to keep their saving streams alive.
Okay.
So they formed new RSKAs.
Right.
But this time, things were different.
How so?
Multiple treasurers, stricter rules, the works.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they learned a hard lesson about the importance of checks and balances,
Wow.
even within a close-knit community.
So Antimphal's betrayal, while awful, actually pushed them to create a more robust system.
Yeah.
That's a strange kind of silver lining.
It is. It's a
There.
classic example of how these informal systems can adapt and evolve.
Right.
It also highlights a core dilemma with informal finance.
Okay.
Its accessibility is both its strength and its weakness.
How so?
Well, it's easier to participate,
Right.
but it lacks the regulatory protections of a bank.
That makes sense.
And as for Auntie Mphal, well, rumor has it she was last seen living it up on a tropical beach,
Oh, wow, really?
enjoying the fruits of her, shall we say, borrowed funds.
Okay, so we've got the drama, the heartbreak, and we've even got a little bit of beach vibes, albeit unethically sourced.
Yeah,
This is way more interesting than I thought RCAs would be.
It's just the tip of the iceberg.
Really?
What's so captivating about RCAs is they combine financial strategy with real human stories.
Yeah.
This case, while extreme, gives us a glimpse into the inner workings of these groups, the trust they rely on, and the risks they inevitably face.
But this story raises a ton of questions.
It does.
Like, how do RCAs function on a larger scale? Are they all as vulnerable as anti-MFA's group?
Right.
And what about the whole trust issue?
Uh-huh.
I mean, how do you protect yourself in a system built on informal agreements?
Those are excellent questions.
Yeah.
And they're exactly what we're going to unpack in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We'll explore the strengths and weaknesses of RSKAs, look at some fascinating variations from around the world,
Cool.
and even get into some strategies for managing the risks involved.
All right, listeners, stay tuned.
Yes.
We're about to get into the nitty-gritty of RSCAs.
We are.
And trust me, it's going to be a wild ride.
Buckle up.
Okay. I am still reeling from anti-MFA's grand exit.
It's
It really makes you think about that fine line between community and chaos in these RSCAs.
It is, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
powerful illustration of how trust is both the foundation and the potential downfall
Right.
of these informal systems.
Yeah.
But before we get too deep into the risks,
Okay.
let's take a step back and appreciate what makes RSCAs so valuable in the first place.
Right, because clearly they're doing something right. If they're so widespread and
Yeah.
they've been around for centuries.
That's like,
So what's the big appeal?
well, think about it.
Okay.
RSCAs cut through all the red tape of traditional banking.
Mm-hmm.
No credit checks,
Uh-huh.
no collateral,
Yeah.
no complicated paperwork.
Okay.
They're accessible to just about anyone,
Yeah.
regardless of their income or financial history.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's a game changer,
Yeah.
especially in communities that are underserved by formal financial institutions.
So it's about financial inclusion,
Exactly.
bringing people into the fold who might otherwise be excluded.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. What else?
Well, there's also the built-in accountability factor.
Okay.
You're not just accountable to yourself.
Right.
You're accountable to your entire RSCA group.
That's a good point.
And that social pressure can be a powerful motivator
Yeah.
to stay on track with your savings goals.
It's like having a whole team of cheerleaders rooting for you, but with a little bit more bite if you fall behind.
Exactly.
Like it.
And because RSKAs are so deeply embedded in these social networks,
Right.
they often come with this layer of trust and understanding that you just don't find in traditional financial settings.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like a community safety net
Uh-huh.
where people come together to support each other's financial well-being.
Okay, I get the warm and fuzzy feeling, the community spirit, the financial empowerment.
Yeah.
But let's be real.
Okay.
There's gotta be a downside.
Right.
Anti-MFA's story is proof that things can go terribly wrong.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's the double-edged sword of informality.
Okay.
The very things that make RSKAs so accessible and community-driven
Mm-hmm.
also make them vulnerable to breaches of trust and a lack of oversight.
Right.
And that's where Anti-MFO's story serves as a stark reminder
Yeah.
that even within close-knit circles, things can go south.
So how do you balance the good with the bad? How do you harness the power of RSKAs while minimizing the anti-MFA factor?
Well, one key strategy is diversification.
Okay.
Just like you wouldn't put all your eggs in one basket when it comes to investments.
Right.
You couldn't rely solely on a single RSCA.
Makes sense.
So spreading your savings across multiple groups, each with different members and treasurers, can help mitigate the impact if one group goes awry.
So don't put all your trust in one anti-MFA.
Exactly.
Got it. What else can people do to safeguard their savings?
Well, having clear rules and procedures in place is essential,
Even if they're not formal.
even if they're not formal or written down.
Okay.
Simple things like rotating the treasurer role,
Mm-hmm.
having multiple people involved in managing the funds,
Yeah.
and setting clear expectations about contributions and payouts can make a huge difference.
Right.
Some RSCAs even use a lottery system
Oh,
to
wow.
determine the payout order,
Okay.
which reduces the temptation for anyone to make off with the pot at the end.
It's like putting safety bumpers on your bowling lane.
Yeah.
You can still have fun and aim for a strike,
Right.
but you're less likely to end up in the gutter.
Exactly.
Right.
And let's not forget the power of due diligence.
Okay.
Talk to other members,
Uh-huh.
ask questions,
Yeah.
get a sense of the group's track record and how they handle disagreements or disputes.
Yeah.
It's about balancing trust with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Okay.
Remember, even in the most well-intentioned groups, things can happen.
Speaking of things happening,
Yeah.
let's go back to Anti-MFA's group for a second.
Okay.
You mentioned that some of the women formed new RSCAs after the whole debacle.
They did.
They didn't give up.
Nope.
Adapted?
They did, and that's what I find so inspiring about this story.
Yeah.
Despite the betrayal and the financial loss,
Right.
they showed incredible resilience.
They did.
They took the hit, they learned from it, and they found ways to move forward.
That's a good lesson.
Yeah.
For anyone, whether you're involved in RSCAs or not.
Absolutely.
It's like the saying, fall 7 times, stand up 8.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's a testament to the human spirit, our capacity to bounce back from setbacks and find creative solutions, even in the face of adversity.
Okay. I'm feeling pumped about the resilience factor.
Good.
But let's be real, those extra safeguards we talked about,
Yeah.
they're great, but are they enough?
That's a great question.
You can't completely eliminate the risk of human error or bad intentions.
You're hitting on a really important point,
Yeah.
and it raises a question that's been swirling around the world of RSCAs.
Okay.
How do you address those inherent vulnerabilities without losing the very essence of what makes them so special?
Right.
It's a delicate balance
Yeah.
between preserving the informality and introducing some level of structure or oversight.
So how do you walk that tightrope?
Right.
You can't exactly regulate a system that thrives on being unregulated.
You can't, and that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
We're starting to see some innovative approaches that try to bridge that gap.
Like what?
Well, one idea that's gaining traction is this concept of hybrid models.
Hybrid models.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about blending the best of both worlds.
Okay.
The flexibility and accessibility of informal systems with the structure and safeguards of more formal financial institutions.
Hold on. What exactly is a hybrid model in this context?
Okay, so imagine a platform,
Okay.
maybe a mobile app,
All right.
that connects RSCA groups with financial institutions or NGOs.
Gotcha.
It could provide tools for record-keeping transparency,
Uh-huh.
maybe even some basic financial literacy training.
So it's like a digital guardian angel for RSCAs,
Yeah, exactly.
helping them stay on track and avoid pitfalls.
Exactly.
I like it.
Yeah, it could help build trust, encourage responsible financial practices,
Mm-hmm.
and even potentially provide access to additional services,
Like what?
like microloans or insurance.
Oh, wow.
It's a way to bridge that gap between the formal and informal financial sectors,
Yeah.
creating a more inclusive and resilient system for everyone.
I love that idea.
You know, it's like taking this ancient practice of collective saving
Uh-huh.
and giving it a modern-day makeover.
It's a perfect example of how technology can be used to empower communities
Yeah.
and strengthen traditional systems.
Right.
But it's not just about technology. It's about collaboration,
Okay.
bringing different stakeholders to the table,
Like who?
RSCA members, community leaders, financial institutions, policymakers,
Gotcha.
all working together to find solutions that preserve the spirit of RSCAs while addressing their vulnerabilities.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like taking the lessons learned from Anti-MFO's story and using them to build a better, stronger system for everyone.
It is.
It's really making me think about how creative solutions can arise from setbacks.
Absolutely. And it highlights the power of storytelling.
Mhm.
Anti-MFO's tale, while unfortunate, serves as a potent reminder that finance is ultimately about people.
Yeah.
It's about relationships, aspirations, and the delicate dance between trust and risk.
It really is a story that sticks with you.
It's funny, it's sad, it's thought-provoking,
Yeah.
and it makes you realize that even in the world of finance, human connection is at the heart of it all.
Yeah, that's a great point. And it makes you wonder if there are other stories like Anti-MFO's out there.
Right.
What can we learn from RSCA participants around the world?
Yeah.
What other innovations are emerging to make these groups even more impactful?
Ooh, I'm already hooked. Tell me more.
Well, in the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore the global landscape of RSCAs.
Awesome.
We'll look at different models, uncover some inspiring examples of how they're being used for social good,
Okay.
and delve into some practical advice for anyone considering joining one.
All right.
Stay tuned. It's about to get even more interesting.
Okay, so we're back
We are
for the final part of our RSCA journey.
our RSCA adventure.
I'm ready to hear about these global RSCA adventures that you teased.
Yeah,
Ani Mbafo's story was definitely eye-opening.
it was.
But it makes me wonder, is
Yeah.
her experience unique? Or are there similar tales playing out all over the world?
You're spot on to think that this isn't just an African phenomenon.
Oh, okay.
RSCAs are truly a global phenomenon.
Really?
Yeah, it's remarkable how these informal savings groups
Yeah.
pop up in diverse cultures,
Uh-huh.
each with their own little twist.
Interesting.
From Tondas in Latin America,
Okay.
Tui in Vietnam,
Mhm.
Arizan in Indonesia, and many others.
Wow.
The basic idea is the same.
Yeah.
A group of people pooling their money and taking turns receiving the pot.
It's amazing how this concept transcends borders and cultures.
It is.
It's like a universal language of collective saving.
I like that.
So what are some of the coolest things you've learned about RSCAs
Okay.
from around the world?
Well, the sheer variety of RCA models is fascinating.
Okay.
Some are super straightforward,
Uh-huh.
just focused on saving.
Right.
Others get more complex,
How so?
incorporating elements of lending or even investment.
Interesting.
You'll find tightly structured groups with ironclad rules, alongside others that operate on more flexible handshake agreements.
Okay.
It really speaks to how adaptable RSCAs are,
Yeah.
molding themselves to fit the specific needs and customs of different communities.
It's like RSCAs are financial chameleons,
Yeah.
blending into any environment.
They do.
It makes me wonder, what are some of the most creative or surprising ways people are using RSCAs out there?
Oh, there are some truly inspiring examples.
Okay.
In some communities, RSCAs are the engine behind social enterprises.
Really?
They provide that initial seed capital for small businesses or fund community projects.
Wow.
Others use them to tackle healthcare expenses,
Okay.
pooling resources to cover medical bills or insurance premiums.
Makes sense.
And there are even RSCAs specifically geared toward education,
Wow.
helping families save for school fees or vocational training.
It's incredible how they've become a vehicle for social change,
It is.
giving communities the power to shape their own destinies.
Right.
It goes way beyond just saving money. It's about empowering people to reach for bigger dreams.
Exactly. And we can't forget the role of technology in this evolution.
Right.
Mobile apps are emerging
Okay.
that streamline the management of RSCAs, connect them with formal financial institutions,
Yeah,
and even offer financial literacy training.
that's great.
It's like a digital upgrade that helps bridge the gap between traditional practices and the modern financial world.
It feels like we're witnessing the fusion of ancient wisdom and cutting-edge innovation.
I like that.
But even with all these advancements, let's be realistic.
Okay.
That human element, the potential for things to go wrong,
Right.
it's still there.
It is.
What advice would you give to someone who's intrigued by RSCAs and considering joining one,
Yeah.
whether it's in their neighborhood or across the globe?
That's such an important question.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I'd say knowledge is your best friend.
Okay.
Do your homework.
All right.
Understand the specific rules and procedures of the RSCA you're considering. Chat with current members.
Mm-hmm.
Get a feel for the group dynamics.
Okay.
Is there a strong sense of trust?
Right.
How do they handle disagreements?
Makes sense.
It's crucial to assess those aspects before jumping in.
So it's not just about the numbers.
No.
It's about understanding the people and the culture of the group.
Exactly.
What else should potential participants keep in mind?
Remember our diversification mantra.
Of course.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
If possible, spread your savings across multiple RSCAs
Okay.
to reduce your exposure to risk.
Makes sense.
And finally, and this is key,
Okay.
be prepared for the unexpected.
All right.
RSCAs are inherently social, and as with any human endeavor,
Yeah,
there's always a chance things might not go according to plan.
that's true.
Having realistic expectations, communicating openly, and fostering a collaborative spirit within the group
Mhm.
can go a long way in navigating those inevitable bumps in the road.
It sounds like finding that balance between enthusiasm and caution is crucial.
It is, yeah.
Embrace the community aspect,
Right.
the collective power of RSCAs,
Uh-huh.
but also be prepared to ask tough questions
Yeah. Yeah.
and do your due diligence.
It's about harnessing the strengths of RSCAs
Yeah,
while acknowledging their inherent vulnerabilities.
right.
And ultimately, it's about recognizing that they're much more than just financial tools.
Okay.
They represent community resilience and the enduring human spirit of cooperation.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of RSCAs,
Right.
what's the one big takeaway you hope our listener walks away with?
For me, it's the realization that finance is about people, not just profits and spreadsheets.
Yeah.
RSCAs and all their amazing diversity
Yeah.
show us the power of coming together, the importance of trust and community,
Mm-hmm.
and the remarkable human capacity to find creative solutions to financial challenges.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
It's a powerful reminder that even in a world of complex financial systems,
Yeah.
these age-old traditions, these grassroots solutions still have a vital role to play
They do.
in empowering communities and creating financial well-being.
Absolutely. And remember,
Yeah.
knowledge is power, Do your research, ask questions,
Uh-huh.
and approach RSKAs with a blend of enthusiasm and a healthy dose of critical thinking.
Right.
You might just discover a whole new world of financial possibilities right in your own community.
Thanks for joining us on this RSCA roller coaster.
It's been fun.
It's been an incredible journey.
It has.
We'll catch you next time for another deep dive into the fascinating world around us.